Rare photos of a young Marilyn Monroe here in Milwaukee are going up for auction next week. We're going to show you the images here that Milwaukee photographer John Elshauser shot in 1949. The little-known 23-year-old actress, when she was still called Norma Jean Baker, was traveling through Milwaukee on a publicity tour when, of course, he spent 30 minutes with the up-and-coming star and shot these pictures. His family now auctioning 5 rare unpublished negatives on what would have been Monroe's 100th birthday next week. Now, John passed away in 2016, but joining us right now is his daughter, Mame O'Meara. Thank you so much for spending some time. It's a pleasure to talk to you. We have to know the story behind these photos. What memories do you remember you being told when your dad was here with us?
Well, I have to say my dad was a journalist before he ever got to the newspaper. His dad was also in amateur journalism, so he was exploring newspapers and photography from his early teens in the 1930s. So he ended up at the Journal in photography because they weren't looking for reporters, but photography was just hitting the newspapers on a regular basis. So I remember discussing every night at dinner as we met, my parents and the 6 kids talked about what he covered that day. And so current events was a regular part of our conversation. And getting the story right, that whole idea that whatever you were reporting was truthful, ethical, and represented what actually happened. Those were the values that my dad brought into journalism with him.
That's amazing that those values were instilled, and I'm sure you use them throughout your life as well. What does it mean to know that your father took these photos and now obviously we're auctioning them off, but when you first found out, like, hey, that was my dad?
You know, we didn't talk about each story throughout the years specifically, but once Marilyn died, we started realizing that he had a real treasure trove in his pocket. So we managed, and my father kept everything. Everything the Journal gave back to him, he managed to tuck away and keep until I'm going through them now. So I have to say that it was really our unknown privilege at that time to have that chance to talk about the musicians that came to town, the actors that came to town. I love the part where he and Marilyn both met as really unknowns. And my father, while he had a photography career of 25 years, he also went on to teach, and his education and doctorate were in how the newspapers will transition to digital media. So while he started taking pictures as innocent as these, and yet very technically good pictures, he also went on to have a really iconic career of his own in the newspaper business.
And now your dad attended Marquette, was fresh out of college when he had this opportunity to take these photos of Marilyn Monroe. Did he ever say anything about her?
You know, we have a little story that he wrote about her, and he likes to say that what he remembered most was the fact that he locked the door immediately behind him, mostly because they didn't waste film, and he didn't want anybody to come in and expose it. But he referred to as being highly professional, ready to pose. One of the things we found out when we put them up to the auction houses, one of the experts in Marilyn Monroe indicated to me that there was no evidence that Marilyn Monroe had ever even been to the state of Wisconsin. And I was really, really glad to be able to let her know there was evidence.
That's amazing. Last question really quickly. What are you expecting at this auction?
Nobody will say anything. What we like is that these 5, and the 2 that you've shown, the 2 black and whites that are the really originals of my dad's, were his 2 favorites, and we'll keep those. But the other 5 are all usable and copyright protected for the next 70 years, and somebody might want to do something in AI with them. How do we know?
Yeah.
We are open to whatever Marilyn needs next.
Absolutely. Well, Mame O'Meara, it's been a pleasure to chat with you. Thank you so much for spending some time.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.